Good morning, everyone. It's Dove here. So it is Friday morning. I'm pretty sure it's Friday. This is my last day on the road. I spent the night here. I'm in Illinois at a state park called Argyle Lake State Park. And this is not a primitive site. The primitive sites are farther down the road, and they are just gravel. They're gravel roads, and you have to hike in to the picnic tables and everything. There's no vault toilets or anything. So that was Class D. This is Class C, which has access to the vault toilet, which is right there, and your picnic table is like right there, and they have trash cans right here, right there. And this was only $2 more than the primitive site, and it was closer to the main road, so that's why I chose this one. So this was $8 a night, if I didn't say that already. I got my sarong set up again. This is really getting old, but it's the only thing I have for window coverings. I didn't sleep too bad. I was able to keep my sunroof open because there were no bugs coming in or anything. And the closer I get to Indiana, the warmer it gets. So it wasn't too bad. I kept warm enough and everything. So here's the pamphlet I picked up. It's really nice here. This is a man-made lake, and there's a lot of fishing here. And you can pause and read that if you want. They turned it into a lake. They made a dam and turned it into a lake. It's pretty big. So big that I kind of got lost. I mean, their maps are a little lacking. I had to see, when I first came in, I was going to go there. That's the primitive site. But whatever road I took was actually closed. I'm not sure where I came in. I must have tried to go that way or something, but the road was closed because they're doing some work on the lake, and it actually flooded and collapsed the road or something. I don't know, but I had to backtrack to right there, and that's where the campground host was. And so he actually marked on here the way that I needed to go, because I told him, I said, I don't want to go down there. And so I went to the Class C. The Class B has electrical hookups, and I'm in Class C, so I'm somewhere right there. And right behind me is a place where you can go and get electrical hookups. So yeah, he scribbled on the map for me, and that still wasn't enough, so he literally escorted me back here yesterday, because all these weird wonky roads, it was kind of confusing me. It had been a long day, and yeah, I think he could see the confusion in my eyes. He was like, "Do you want me to drive you back there?" I said, "Yes, please do." So he was super nice. He's been camp hosting here for 7 years, and before that he was a camp host at another place for 5 years. And they have a home base. They go home and they take their RV and they winterize it, and then in the summer they come out and they are campground hosts. So that was really cool. So let's see if I can find you here on the map. This is Illinois, and this will be my last day traveling through. This is a pretty fast state to go through if you're going east to west or west to east. And sorry, I'm shaking a little bit, or a lot. I can't find it with my fingers in the way. Oh yeah, here. So we're right outside of Colchester, and that's the state park. And actually I took a different route coming back than I did going out to Idaho. They had me, I first came out on 9, and I had to go through Bloomington and up and around and that way through Burlington, and it was kind of a loop-de-loop. And as I was looking at the maps when I was coming home, I really didn't want to go that way, and so I was able to find a more direct shot. And so instead of coming up here and going through Iowa only, way over here in Iowa, I dropped down into Missouri, and I brought 136 over. And that country road, oh my God, I wasn't even able to set my cruise control because it was really, really hilly and windy, and the road was actually really narrow. And so I gave up on cruise control. There was just, it was too dangerous, to be quite honest. And so I controlled my speed myself. So I dropped down from Missouri, or from Iowa into Missouri, then came over and crossed the bridge here in Keokuk. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. And so 136 actually takes me, you know, there's some curves, but it's 136 the whole way. And it is the straightest shot across Illinois that I could find. It literally just goes straight across. So that's my route home. It is 10:20 Eastern time, but I'm still in Central time, so it's 9:20 here. Got my coffee going. It's not very windy here. Well, it is, but you can't tell because there are so many trees and they act as a really nice windbreak. So for once I was actually able to bring my butane stove out to the picnic table and not worry about the flame going out. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let me be quiet. Can you hear the birds? There are tons of trees around here. I've heard woodpeckers and all sorts of different birds. Of course, plenty of squirrels. So I've learned a lot. There's my burn pit. I didn't have any wood. They do have wood available at the little concession restaurant. They actually have a restaurant here, which is by the boat ramp, which I did not go to. I didn't feel like building a fire or anything. Here's my hot mess again. Just drinking some coffee. Jackery's down to 55%. I did drive for several hours yesterday, but for some reason that didn't charge up all the way. And I'm actually kind of worried about my 12-volt plug. I think I've blown a fuse or something, because even though I drove at least 3 or 4 hours yesterday and I had this plugged into my AC outlet up there, whereas before it was charging, yesterday it didn't charge at all. So this thing is down to like 38% now, because I watched a movie last night. It was like at 50% when I got here and parked, but there's something wrong. So I'm gonna have to find out where the fuse box is. I think maybe that's probably it, because I was plugging it into here and it was fine. Every time I drove it was charging, but yesterday it did not charge at all. So I think I blew a fuse or something. And this is where I slept again. And I'm really thinking that I'm gonna have to just take this out so that I have enough room to do something else up here. And then I'll just, like, I don't know. I guess I'll build a bed in the back like everybody else does. Because this is as far back as it'll go. I mean, you can see that's not very far back. This is the only vehicle that I've had that the seat doesn't go back pretty far. I just can't. I can't force it to go back any further. And although it was acceptable, it's still not comfortable. And so I think I'm just going to have to take it out altogether and maybe put my refrigerator up here. And then down here in the floorboard, I could probably put like 3 or 4 of my my water jugs. I don't know. I have about a year to figure it out. But this thing is pretty big. And the funny part is I was wanting to get a second unit that acts as a freezer and a refrigerator. And I don't know if I'm going to have room. I mean, I do have a lot of space left over, but realistically, I don't. I mean, this isn't even everything that I wanted to bring with me. This was just the bare necessities to get there and back. You know, I've got my food, my dishes, my clothes, water, my refrigerator. And once I get storage up top, this bin that's right there, that's like my car stuff. You know, emergency flares and stuff like that. That can all go up top. But the rest of it, I mean, it pretty much has to stay down here. So I don't know. Every day I'm in here, it gets smaller and smaller. I was just praising how big it was, and now I'm like, wow, it's small. So I don't know. Oh, and they left the DVD player in it. I wanted them to take it out, but I think that they forgot. So I think I'm gonna have to take that out because I have hit my head on it 5 or 6 times already. And every single Suburban, unless you get the very base cheapest one, every one of them has leather seats and this DVD player. And I don't need it. I will never use it. And so I'm going to see if I can take that out. I know it's going to leave a big gaping hole, but I could probably cover that or something. I don't know. But I mean, I can get through. This is how I do it. I can't show you, but when I'm in the passenger seat, I turn around, I swing my legs around, I sit up here and I hop over here, and then I'm down here and I can take the lid off of my toilet, go to the bathroom, and then, like I said in the other video, I move that and I use that. I get off the toilet, I kneel there, pull my pants up, then I turn around, sit there, and then swing my legs around to get back in the seat. So it is doable, but I'm pretty skinny and flexible. Even though I'm in pain, I'm still skinny and flexible, so that does help. So I can and have gone to the bathroom in here without even opening the door once. So it's all messy now. I mean, everything's gonna have to be very strategically placed, and I'll probably build out something. I'm not sure if I'll leave all the paneling and everything. I really don't know. I wasn't planning on going to Jamie's van build, but maybe I should. Maybe there'll be people there who have better ideas than I do. I don't know. But they have a lot of hiking trails here and everything. I didn't go on any. It was daylight when I got here, but it was still pretty dark, and I had to eat. So I made a quesadilla with my cast iron griddle again, and it was really good. It tasted very good after all these days without cooking, and I was able to cook it out here because there was no wind. But there's the vault toilets. There's a women's and a men. There's no light in there besides the skylight, but it's decently clean and it didn't stink, so it wasn't as bad as the one at the Sherman Reservoir, because I really didn't like that one at all. This one's not bad. But yeah, I think there's hiking trails and everything. back behind these trees. I just don't really know how to get to them. And I didn't have time. I didn't come on this trip to go hiking. I came to pick this baby up. So that was my biggest concern. There is no cell phone service down here. I'm on T-Mobile, but I really don't think it would make a difference if you were on Verizon or not, because we're down kind of in a gully and we're surrounded by trees. I mean, everywhere there's trees. And I know that people have been trying to get a hold of me to see where I am and see how I'm doing, but I have not been able to respond. Hopefully they're not getting too worried or anything. Alright, so that's my last update for this trip. I hope you're all doing well. I wasn't able to upload anything else past the videos I made in Argyle because I just have not had internet service. So I apologize for that. I will catch up tomorrow. I'll start uploading and getting everybody caught up on my trip. Alright guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.